Welcome to A Seat at the Table, a show by the Alamo College's district. And as you know, each episode we discuss challenges, opportunities, and solutions related to community colleges. And I'm Dr. Mike Flores. I'm Chancellor of the Alamo College's district. And on today's episode, we'll be talking about how we're expanding a partnership with Texas A&M San Antonio, our newest initiative that's going to help students at a low to no cost in pursuing their baccalaureate degree once they finish with us, and in particular focused on Promise. So it's a promise-to-promise exchange. It's one of several initiatives that we've created to support our students, as you may know, and this expanded partnership is going to allow eligible students to start at any one of our 5 colleges and then seamlessly transfer to Texas A&M University-San Antonio to complete a bachelor's degree while having educational costs, tuition and fees, and books covered at both institutions. And most importantly, I think the program provides for automatic admissions from any one of the 5 Alamo colleges directly to Texas A&M University-San Antonio. So before we jump into the topic for today, we have 2 very special guests. First, I want to introduce Aubri Lalinde, who is a former Alamo Promise Scholar, recently crossed the stage at the Alamo Dome for Palo Alto College's graduation, earned her Associate of Arts degree in business, and is about to embark on her journey at Texas A&M University-San Antonio. Aubri is actually one of the first eligible students to take part in this initiative that you're going to hear more about, our Promise to Promise work with A&M San Antonio. Welcome, Aubri, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
For those who don't know, there are over 400 Promise programs across the country. It's a remarkable growth and sustainability that is community-based, very localized approach often. And what's wonderful about the local approach is you're able to create unique programs that are reflective of the communities that we serve. Alamo Promise itself is a program that provides tuition-free college education at any of our 5 Alamo colleges to over 20 school districts and partners, and that includes 73 San Antonio area high schools, as well as private, charter, and homeschool students within Bexar County. That's over 22,000 eligible graduating high school seniors each and every year. A&M San Antonio's Jaguar Promise program is a transformational initiative that provides tuition, fees, and a $300 book stipend per semester. But I'm going to allow the president of A&M San Antonio to talk more about that, Dr. Hector Ochoa. And he is our other special guest here in the studio. Dr. Ochoa is the 3rd president of Texas A&M University-San Antonio. His career spans over 33 years, which includes 17 years as a faculty member, 16 years as an upper-level administrator, which includes department chair, dean, provost, and now the 3rd president of A&M San Antonio, and he's actually completed 10 months, is that right?
That's correct.
10 months. So welcome, Dr. Ochoa, wonderful champion for educational opportunity and a great partner, and we're glad he's here in San Antonio with us. I'm going to begin the conversation, Dr. Ochoa, with some questions for you, and then, Aubri, I'm going to go ahead and pivot to you after that, and then we're going to ask you about your educational journey and your future plans. Okay. So Hector, tell us a little bit about, we just came from the wonderful announcement of our work together and solidifying that partnership, but tell us a little bit about your Promise program and who it's aimed at.
Yes. Well, prior to my arrival at A&M San Antonio in August of 2023, we did have a Promise program, but it was limited to only students coming from high school. And so in many ways, I felt that put us in direct competition with Alamo colleges. If you come to us, then you're eligible for this Promise program. And I felt that it was very, very important to honor the different pathways and to be much more inclusive. So while we will still do that with our honors program, with the top, if you're in the top 10% of your class, you're automatically eligible for the Promise our Jaguar Promise program to honor those students who have really excelled in high school and have done well in that area. What the Jaguar Promise does now is that it extends that opportunity for students who choose a different pathway and those that will choose to go through Alamo colleges. And what that does is that if you transfer with an associate's degree from a community college in Texas, but 80% of our transfers come from the Alamo College District, so they're eligible to be considered for the Promise program, our Jaguar Promise program, which is very, very critical. It also honors the opportunity for those students who chose to do an early college high school through Alamo colleges, that if they come in with 30 hours or more, then they're eligible for this program as well. And to me, when you're looking at programs, there are different pathways for different students. And it's really important to honor to say, well, unless you come to us first, then we'll give you this. And I think that's a very myopic view. And, students are different pathways, especially first-generation students. And so that opportunity lends itself. Also, the Jaguar Promise is available for those students who, from high school, come directly, but they're in the top 35% of their class. Mm-hmm. And with the 35%, if your annual gross family income is $70,000 or less, then you're eligible for this promise. So we looked at those students who are in the top 10 versus the top 35. But more critically, we've expanded anybody who wants to come and should they be eligible for that.
Well, that's wonderful. And I think, one of the things that you mentioned earlier and during the announcement was the ability to work together. Mm-hmm. And so that it is common purpose, right? So yes. Can you talk a little bit more about that and why you think that's so critical for San Antonio and the region? Well,
I think part of that philosophy is really both of my upbringing and my training. And my upbringing, I've realized being born and raised in the Rio Grande Valley, I saw a lot of people that college seemed an impossibility. First, do I belong there? Am I capable? Can I do it? But really the daunting task of finances. And so to me, when you have that perspective and you saw, as I said earlier, so many classmates that you thought were just as capable of you, but didn't have, that opportunity of a promise to see that and the fear of debt. So to me, I've realized that and in my training, I realized that for students sometimes, not because they're less capable by any means, but they want to, start in a smaller setting or do it in a setting where, like engage in high school, that they want to test their waters there. Sometimes they feel more comfortable going to community college. That fits their pathway better. And so to me, I've realized in my training that a one-size-fits-all approach doesn't work. Mm-hmm. And in my work at the time Pan Am, now UTRGV, I really realized that we weren't getting a lot of students from South Texas. So I would go to South Texas and talk to students that were finishing their associate's degree in education. And I was amazed at how many were just completely at loss, didn't know how to transition, didn't know how you go from one school to the other. And because they didn't know who to seek out, that's it. And they said, if you wouldn't have come here and spent 2 days talking to every class that was in their last terminal year, mm-hmm. And that was very insightful to me. And so I really feel that we need to it's about creating bridges and pathways, because navigating that higher ed bureaucracy is kind of complex.
Right.
And, they get help from the high school counselor to the community college, but then from the community college to 4-year, that's like a bridge too far. Mm-hmm. And so I realized that if we had our staff and working with them, I said, look, I'm not taking your students, but once they finish. And some said, I'm so glad that you came, because I would not have known how to do that. And to me, at the end of the day, we all have a joint responsibility of working together. It's about really, and I say that with all sincerity and heart, building a community of common purpose. And to me, we have to honor the way students want to do that. But in my heart, I know that for community colleges and for Alamo colleges, your desire is for that student to continue.
Yes.
So it's about creating that pathway. And for me, when you do that and you see students achieve an additional level of academic attainment, that joy that comes from them, but it behooves you and me and your presidents and our collective teams to work together to create that pathway, because it is daunting for many students. So to me, when I've seen the successes, when they have seamless transitions, articulation agreements, and literally where we go to the student at the community colleges, it says we're in this together. And,
right.
I firmly believe that.
Yeah, I just want to commend and just thank you for that perspective, because it's so critical, the bridges and pathways and providing that. And then Aubri, so, you're with us now and you're going to go to Texas A&M University-San Antonio. But in my notes, it also talks about you, you went to McCollum High School.
Yes.
So talk to us a little bit about what that looked like at McCollum. Did you know I'm going to go to college? I want to study. This is what I'm going to study in. Tell us a little bit about your educational journey from McCollum, and then what brought you to Palo Alto.
So my educational journey at McCollum, I got pregnant my junior year of high school, and my teachers were telling me to go to Frank Tejera, but my counselor, Miss Priest, she was a really good counselor. She stood by my side and really encouraged me to finish off at McCollum. Wonderful. And even encouraged me to go to Palo Alto College. Good. To give my son a better life that he deserves.
Yes.
Before the baby, I wasn't sure if I was going to like a university. That scared me. But having a baby, getting these opportunities, the promise to promise, everybody that's been by my side, the resources, really encouraged me to further my education and maybe think about even getting a master's degree.
Well, that's wonderful. And then talk a little bit. So, thanks to your counselor, right, that stood by you at McCollum High School, worked with you, and affirmed, right, your educational journey of saying you stay here. Yes. And then prepared to go to college, right? And then you landed at Palo Alto College. What was that like at Palo Alto?
Palo Alto College was really similar to high school, which I loved, but more better in a way. Okay. The community, the teachers, especially my teacher, Miss Mendoza, she was really helpful in accounting, and she also had a baby around my son's age, so we could bond over that, and she was willing to help me with tutoring and extra activities for school.
Okay, well, that's great. And then you have a trio pin on, so you were in student support services. And what about the staff there? What did you enjoy, and what did they do that was helpful?
The staff was good, and Miss Shannon especially, she would help me with scholarships. If I needed to change my class schedule, she was there right on day. Like I texted her that day, she would help me that day. So It was very helpful. Well,
that's great. And so, graduated from McCollum, you were an Alamo Promise Scholar, you attended Palo Alto College, received the support connecting with faculty members, with staff. To be successful. You just crossed the stage a few weeks ago at the Alamo Dome, right? Received your Associate of Arts degree with a focus in business. And then what about when, you have the president here, right? From Texas A&M University-San Antonio, Dr. Ochoa. So when you heard that you're now eligible for this new program, so Promise to Promise, right? What was that like? What was your reaction?
My reaction was I was very excited and grateful for this opportunity, especially for people who are student parents like me. They don't always have opportunities to be able to go to college or further their education, or they don't have family by their side. I'm grateful to have family by my side and have the education supporting me as well. So I was very excited and grateful for this opportunity.
Well, that's great. What do you think, we were talking earlier about the costs, and I think in the mass media, right? Newspaper, TV, social media, we hear about the high cost of a college education, what that means, and the commitment it requires from the student, oftentimes from their family members. But what are you looking forward to when you go to A&M San Antonio?
I'm looking forward to the teachers in the community and go to all of the events that y'all have, especially for my son to be a part of the community and hopefully go to TAMU-SA one day.
Well, that's great. And I'm going to ask Dr. Ochoa if he has any questions for you because, since we have him here, both of you here, and I mean, it's a wonderful opportunity. I think you're leaving one institution. You saw Dr. Robert Gatsa from Palo Alto College, and then myself, and, you have all these folks, a community that is supporting your community, right? Both your parents and Andre, and now you're going on to this next stage. But I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Ochoa. Perhaps he has a question or a comment for you.
Well, first of all, I need to know what questions you have that you're unsure about A&M San Antonio that I can clarify for you.
I'm excited. I just want to know how the buildings are, how far they are.
They're very close to one another.
Okay.
And we're a relatively new campus. We just celebrated our 15th birthday in May, our quinceañera, as we say. And the buildings are very close.
Okay.
Students usually go into, we have 4 buildings right now that are classroom buildings. So one's a STEM building, which is all of our sciences. Then we have our general classroom building. We have the business building, which you'll probably be in, which is brand new. They just opened it this spring. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then we have the Modla building. So it's not hard to get around. And people, we have a nice quad area where students can gather in the courtyard. So it's a great sense of community. But we have 4 buildings. We're building a 5th academic building. That's already started underway. We have a new rec center that will open up for students in the fall as well. So and then next year we'll start building other athletic facilities. But if you like sports, we and families come out. We have women's soccer and men's soccer. We have men's golf, and we're going to be starting and women's softball, which I like a lot. And we're going to be starting our inaugural season of men's and women's basketball in our new Jaguar facility this fall. So you can bring your little one with you and your family and enjoy some good games. We'll have women's and men's basketball. So we're expanding our athletics. But it's a lot of people feel like you're in a very supportive village. So I think you'll like our campus.
Okay.
What other questions do you have?
That was just the main one.
Well, I would say, one thing I would tell you is that while it's very important to focus on your studies, there's so many opportunities outside of the classroom. And one thing that I think is really invaluable is our Maze Experiential Learning Center. So, for example, you're wanting to go into business. If you go to the Maze Center, they can help you, if you're interested, finding a job related or an internship related to your major. So to get that opportunity early on, to be able to do that and to work and earn some money, but also build experience in your profession, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I think that's a real advantage about really applying what you're learning in the classroom to your chosen profession and not waiting till you graduate, because it makes you a stronger applicant. So there are opportunities there. I would also say that another big factor is student life. We have a lot of student organizations, and that is very, very helpful. And one thing that we take pride in is that, it's really important that people in our community don't see us as an ivory tower. So we do have a Fall Fest. We have Lights of Esperanza, which we had 3,000 to 4,000 people. We have the Fiesta de Cascarones with over, like this year, I think we had about 8,000 people from the community. So it's really important that the community feel that this is their university. It's much like in Alamo colleges, that really the Alamo College District is, really so exemplified of what Bexar County is. And I think we need to that for you and to continue that, what Alamo Colleges has done. To really feel that they're embedded and ingrained that this is your community college district, same way we feel at A&M, that's really important. So that people won't feel like that's not a place for me, but that they belong there and they can see themselves there. But I'm looking forward to having you. And I said, come by my office on the 4th floor of CAP so we can go have lunch and I can see how it's going for you. Okay. I wish you luck. Enjoyed meeting your little 3-year-old on Drake today.
Thank you.
And I wanted to also ask a question of you, Aubri. And, what would your advice be for students considering entering a Promise program?
My advice would be to just do it. the resources that help you, let it help you. Don't fight back. Get all the help you can and leave a legacy for your family and your kids.
That's wonderful. So thank you for joining us today. And it's been a spectacular conversation between the three of us. And I'm just excited about hearing all the wonderful things this episode, and especially coming off of the announcement, right, of being able to ensure that we provide almost a seamless fast pass for students like Aubri and other students. We send about 2,000 students, or just sent 2,000 students like Aubri to Texas A&M University-San Antonio. We want to send even more because we know it not only changes your life, but the life of your family, which is important. And from what Dr. Ochoa says, I mean, Andre, right, your 3-year-old has a fast pass as well and can experience it as you're a student, can go to all the wonderful events, sporting events, or events like the Lights of Esperanza or Fall Fest, all of the wonderful things that you got to experience previously at Palo Alto College and now get to experience in a wonderful supportive community at Texas A&M University-San Antonio. Congratulations to you, Aubri. I'm glad that you were with us today. Glad that we were able, with this wonderful announcement, to have Dr. Ochoa, 10 transformational months. I was already giving you 2 more, 10 transformational months, just completing his first year as president, and look forward to building on this announcement in future years with you and your team. And I think I just want to thank you and your team and your leadership and your faculty and staff for being part of that community of common purpose to benefit not only Aubri, but Andre, right, future generations, and ensure that there's a more prosperous community for each and every one of us. Thank you all for being here with us today, and thank you once again, Aubri. Thank you, Hector. Thank you, Dr. Ochoa, President.
Thank you.
Thank you.